The cicadas screamed endlessly in the late August heat, the kind of heat that made the air shimmer and the streets feel deserted. In the middle of that harsh summer afternoon walked Aono Eiji, a simple, soft-spoken second-year high school student. He wasn't special, he wasn't popular, he wasn't athletic or flashy, but he had a sincere heart, the kind that held on to memories, promises, and hopes with everything he had. And today was supposed to be one of the most important days of his life, his birthday. For weeks, he'd been looking forward to a date with the girl he'd loved since childhood, Amada Miyuki. They had grown up together, shared countless moments, and finally became a couple last Christmas after he gathered the courage to confess to Eiji. She wasn't just a girlfriend. She was the center of his world. He rehearsed everything in his head, the route they'd walk, the movie they'd see, the small present he saved up for, and maybe, just maybe, their first kiss. His heart raced at the thought. But then, the message arrived. A short, simple text online. "Sorry, Eiji, something unavoidable came up with my club activities." His smile faded. His hands trembled. All of his plans, everything he had imagined, collapsed in an instant. Still, he told himself it was fine. Maybe she really was busy. Maybe she really couldn't help it. Eiji was too kind, too forgiving, too hopeful to think otherwise. Even though the date was canceled, Eiji still boarded the train they were supposed to take together. He didn't know why. Maybe he just didn't want to sit alone at home. Maybe a part of him believed that things would somehow turn around. He wandered aimlessly through the prefectural capital, following the exact route they had planned, the cinema they were meant to visit, the arcade they were meant to laugh in, the stores they were meant to walk through side by side, but he walked those places alone. Every corner reminded him of what should have been. At one point, he stopped and muttered to himself, "I'm such an idiot." His voice was small, barely more than a whisper carried by the summer wind. He finally decided to head back. At least he could buy himself some ramen at the station and pretend it was a birthday treat. But as he turned down a side street, he saw something, or rather, someone. Someone he desperately wished wasn't real. There she was, Miyuki. Her familiar long black hair flowed behind her. She wore her favorite dress, the one she told Eiji she loved because he complimented her in it once. But today her makeup was heavier, her expression different, her appearance strangely polished, as if she had put effort into meeting someone important, and she wasn't alone. Her arm was tightly wrapped around a tall, handsome boy, a boy every student in school knew. Kondo Senpai, the soccer team's star player, flashy, cocky, a natural playboy with a long history of breaking hearts, a guy Miyuki always claimed she had no interest in. Yet here she was, leaning on him, smiling gently, as if they had been dating for months. Eiji's footsteps stopped completely. His mind refused to accept it. No, it can't be her. She said she had club activities. She wouldn't lie, she wouldn't cheat. He blinked rapidly, rubbed his eyes, looked again. There was no mistake. It was Miyuki, with another man. On the day she abandoned Eiji on his birthday, his chest tightened painfully. His breath trembled. Miyuki noticed him first. Her expression froze, not with guilt, not with sadness, but with annoyance. Before Eiji could speak, Kondo looked at him and let out a mocking laugh. Miyuki tensed, her grip on Kondo tightening as if she were afraid of being pried away from him. Eiji stepped forward, voice shaking. "Miyuki, why are you here?" Desperation lingered behind every word. His body moved on instinct. He reached out and grabbed her arm, not harshly, but with the frantic, fragile grip of someone terrified of losing the person they loved. She winced. "Ow!" Eiji instantly let go, horrified with himself. Sorry, I didn't mean." But before he could finish, wham! A fist crashed into the side of his face. Eiji was thrown off his feet, hitting the ground hard. Kondo towered over him, fury, or perhaps possessive arrogance, burning in his eyes. "You violent punk! What do you think you're doing to my girl?" People began to gather, whispers spread. Eyes stared. But no one helped Eiji. No one even questioned Kondo. Eiji gritted his teeth, forcing himself to speak through the pain. Your girl, Miyuki is my girlfriend. You're the one who, Kondo sneered. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you Miyuki's stalker or something? Eiji's world crumbled at those words, but Kondo wasn't finished. He wrapped an arm around Miyuki's waist, tightly, possessively, and spoke loud enough for everyone to hear. Hey, Miyuki, tell him, you were always talking about him when we were being intimate, weren't you? Miyuki's face flushed, not with shame, but with a twisted mix of pride and fear of losing Kondo. Kondo smirked and continued. You told me how Eiji's hands were always sweaty and gross, how disgusting they felt when he held yours. And at that moment, Eiji felt his heart shatter into a million pieces. Eiji stared at Miyuki, begging her silently. Please deny it. Please say something. Please don't do this to me. But Miyuki's face was pale trembling, not because she felt guilty, but because she was terrified of displeasing Kondo. Eiji forced himself to stand. His voice cracked. Miyuki, if you like him so much, then choose, tell me clearly. It felt like standing in front of a judge, waiting for a verdict that would determine his entire life. Miyuki turned to Kondo first, then she stepped closer to him, clutching his arm. Don't abandon me, senpai. If you leave me, I won't be able to live anymore. Those words destroyed Eiji. Everything went white. His limbs felt numb, his chest hollow. Still, he asked one final question. Then what am I to you? Tell me in your own voice. Miyuki didn't hesitate. Eiji was just my childhood friend, but he's clingy, persistent, stalker-like, terrible, and violent. Eiji's breath caught. His world collapsed. Kondo leaned down, grinning cruelly. Then tell him properly. Tell this deluded stalker it's over. And Miyuki obeyed. She looked Eiji straight in the eyes. The same eyes that once looked at him with warmth, the same lips that once smiled just for him, and stabbed him in the heart with her words. I'm sorry, Eiji. I can't be with you anymore. Don't talk to me at school either. No emotion, no hesitation, no remorse. Just a cold severing of everything they once shared. And with that, 10 years of memories, 10 years of trust, 10 years of love were wiped away in a single moment. Eiji stood there, unable to speak, unable to breathe, unable to cry. Their relationship, his birthday, his heart, all ended at once. Eiji lost everything in a single moment. But this is not where his story ends, because fate is about to bring a new girl into his life, someone who will lift him from his despair and help him rise stronger than ever. And as Eiji begins to heal, karma will finally start chasing the ones who hurt him, Kondo and Miyuki. If you want to witness this turning point, stay with me for the next episode. Please like and comment for part 2. Your support truly means everything to me. This is my first video, so forgive me for any mistakes. I'll fix them and deliver something even better next time.